We thought we make something extremely common because of the shape and like the topology of this, like, and references like to farm buildings. But for the people in the village, that is, oh, this is something kind of experimental. For them, that was a completely new situation. Now, there's still a tree missing. This would then just like mark the middle. But surrounding is not like the most beautiful spot on earth. Like, yeah, with all these other houses, it's quite uncontrolled. It's not urban, not countryside situation where just like everyone fulfills his own dream. Then we have new needs with, I don't know, solar panels which are really ugly on the roof. So I mean, it's not the view that you would like point out. So what we tried is like we have around the house you have like a filter system. You can always look at least something which maybe you think it's nicer than the view itself. We were just referring to old topologies of these farm buildings. Like the entrance in the farm buildings, sometimes they have this like half cold, half warm spaces. So just from the front facade you see here, we have like this kind of a half transparent facade. This is like the cold part, which is like the envelope, and on the back side, which is like north, is just like the insulated building, really like on the outside. On the outside, there's mainly like it's two different materials. What is holding everything together is that everything is corrugated, and it's just different materials. Like one is this like transparent thing, where we have kind of this soft space around the main building, which like allows to get light inside, and it's like a semi-permeable membrane. And on the other side, it's much more stable, or like for a long time, it's like aluminium, and like it's just like these two materials. Wherever we wanted to like catch the light, there is this half transparent material where you can see one's like the construction behind, but then especially in the upper part where we have these bedrooms, we have like a lot of light, but it's like also covering a little bit the sun. The entrance, it's not yet the house, it's part of the house. Like in these farm buildings, before you enter, you have like a kind of a covered space which is not heated, but it's already like part of the house where you have all your clothes. And I mean, it's a family with 3 children. So like we gave this more space than usual. Here it's a glass inside. So this facade is really like a membrane. Like there's a lot of light coming in, but it's already like a private space. This is like the entrance situation where you can just like feel the facade from the inside. And like the whole space here, like this, it's where you're going through the facade into the building. The whole construction is a wood construction. And all the walls, the wall, like it's like this balloon frame. There is a grid. The whole house is like following this grid. So you can always like make openings wherever you want. The main living room, I mean, the width is less than 4 meters. It's a little bit smaller here. But things which normally are very small, like a corridor, they're just like slightly too big, so you can use it for something else. And with this exterior space, which is really like part of this room, you don't have the feeling that everything is narrow, because you profit from something which is, and it's outside, so it's extremely cheap to build. Because it's in the south side, it was meant to be like sun protection, and to make sure that it's like not overheating in summertime. But at the same time, because we disconnected from the facade, it was also meant to produce privacy. Like with all this translucent material, you also do not feel like exposed when you're outside. When it's rainy, you're like under a shelter. And I mean, it's just like a bit of nothing. It's not material. It's just like some wood sticks, and it's not an expensive material. All the materials are very cheap, in fact, but have a very nice effect. The lampshade is made out of paper, so normally you could not use this on the outside. Also, like with the facade on top, which is not completely open to the sky, it's filtered light. It's just like turning off like this outside space into something which is much softer than like an exterior space. If you close the blinds, then this is also the area where you have protection against views from neighbors and sun protection. Just like inside is not visible anymore, but the width of the living space is then, instead of like just less than 4 meters, it's more than 6 meters. So you have always like this generous feeling. The ground floor, everything is untreated. You have like the concrete wall, which is not covered. You have inside and outside this kind of concrete floor. It was important that we have something which is very stable, so children can run inside and outside with dirty shoes. It's easy to clean, you cannot destroy it. You can still see the joints of the prefab elements. You can even see like all the screws. It's not covered later.
Is this more affordable to do it prefab?
Yeah, it's much faster, and like within 1 week everything is here as a volume. Like on the ground floor there is like the living area, with a like kitchen, a dining, living situation. With the kitchen, we take the less expensive material possible, and so you have just black and white. And with white, and all the joints are always like looking very bad. And just because it's black, then with the black glass, even it's looking elegant. First they were afraid of having black wall, a black kitchen, but we always said, no, this is also giving, it's not in the foreground. It's just like you cannot really see the end. The toilet is here. The funny thing is that behind this it's the shower. And then like, it's just a glass. They were afraid that you can look through the glass and someone is... So what we did is that there is one lamp on top of the glass. So if you're in the shower, you can turn on the light in the toilet, so because like the toilet room then is like the brighter one, you cannot look into the shower. And you're just like on the dark space, so you cannot see. The whole back wall is with kind of this black color, kind of extending the room. In the ground floor, it's an open floor plan. Because it's so small, the footprint of the house, but that it's important that you can circulate, you can, like it's not one direction, you can walk around. Then here, this is a master bedroom. One part is now divided into a home office space and put into the space, like closed from both sides. So there you have the bedroom and like a small office, which is like connected, but at least you have like a space for the office.
Inside there, or this side, is this your office stuff? Or
Exactly, this is the office stuff. You see, we have these 2 closets, the backs of the 2 closets put one on the other. And so this is office.
Okay.
And then you have the same, and these are my clothes. So this is very like functional, and we can take this out if we wanted to and like create a new room.
It's just like you can enter one space and exit to the next one. And then here, like you come again to the entrance. There was a question like, what can you close? Like, what is like private and what is not so private? Here, there is like one thing where you can kind of retire if you would like to have calm space where you can work concentrated. Then already here it starts with like the change of material, like from this more public concrete floor to a more private wooden floor. Then in like the upper floor we have the corridor in the middle, and this is typical for the farmhouses. A corridor which is extremely large and then very small like cells with the bedrooms on the outside. All the children, they have their own bedroom, but there is like one space where they can meet. As you can see now, there is a piano here. It's like a plaza inside the house.
Yeah, I know.
And it's enough space to make chamber music. It's
And you even used, you put bookshelves in.
yes, we just try to use these walls. You can feel there is something behind, you can look through, so that it's not completely closed, so that the whole, like this corridor in the middle, it's just like one spatial system. And this part of the corridor, we thought you can also maybe close, because you can have two doors on both sides of these corridors. And you could have like maybe here a television room or something which is like also acoustically disconnected from the rest. At the moment, just like it's their playground. On the other side, we always thought this would be perfect for having where you can make your homework together. So that there's just like an area of communication in between. The bedrooms, they're very standard. We just tried to that there is like a variation of how can you put the furniture inside. Then here you have this terrace to the west, so evening sun. This is also like one common space. You're still feeling you're in a private room, looking to the public space. And you cannot control the public space, but you always also here if you're outside, but you're kind of protected. Especially like in summer, it can be very hot here. You're outside, you're protected. If you have children, if you want to be private, you have to find a place where you can hide yourself from all the others. And like this is where you can be outside, you're just kind of in the garden, but in a purely private space. So no neighbor will come or just like disturb you.
There's just a lot of transition space in this house.
Yes, and just like a lot of like a gradient. You don't have this like inside outside. You have something in the intermediate, which is like inside and outside.
Feeling is you live like also outside, so the outside is part of the whole living situation. You see the change of the weather, you see the different atmospheres. It makes everything seems bigger than it really is.